Thousands of books have been written about Lincoln, and we know Booth. But there's a third key player, a mystery man. Track down his story, and you've got the end of the story. Stored inside the National Archives in Washington, D.C., are the actual records from the trial into Lincoln's assassination. Archivist Trevor Plant brings me the documents that give our mystery man a name.
So this is one of the boxes we have. We have several boxes related to various people that testified at the trial. And
wow, there are a whole bunch.
One of those was Sergeant Boston Corbett.
Wow, cool. Sergeant Thomas P. Boston Corbett was one of the men from the 16th New York Cavalry, hot on the trail of Booth and Harold. Before joining the Union Army in 1861, Corbett was a hat maker in Boston. It was common for hat makers to use mercury, which was known to cause mental illness, giving rise to the term mad as a hatter, a charge later leveled at Corbett. 12 days after Lincoln's assassination, the soldiers, following tips, tracked Booth and his accomplice to a farm in Caroline County, Virginia.
This is in the middle of the night. I mean, they show up at the farm at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So they've been spending the entire night in different areas in Virginia, going to houses and getting information, and then it finally points to the Garrett farm.
Corbett's testimony takes up the story from the 16th New York Cavalry's arrival at the Garrett farm.
This is his testimony in the Lincoln assassination trial.
I mean, this is directly from his mouth. This is what he says happened that day.
Correct.
My superior officer, Lieutenant Doherty, told me that Booth was there and directed me to deploy men left and right around the building to see that no one escaped.
Surrender unconditionally! Give yourself up as a prisoner or the farm will be fired!
They gave him a time limit on when he had to come out, 5 minutes and then 15 minutes.
The parley lasted much longer than the time first stated. Probably, I should think, a full half hour, more or less.
You must surrender unconditionally!
In the course of that time, many words passed, and Booth positively declared he would not surrender.
Well, my brave boys, you can prepare a stretcher for me.
Even though they're under strict orders to take him alive, it's obvious that Booth has no intention of surrendering.
So this is going into Corbett's mindset of, right from the beginning, he's seeing the words that are coming from Booth is, this is a do or die moment for him, and he's not going to give up. This is to the death for him.
I mean, Booth he's an actor, and he's got high drama in him till the last moment, right?
I knew that he was perfectly desperate and did not expect that he would surrender.
You must surrender!
I could have picked off 3 or 4 men already if I wished to do so.
At this point, Harold is starting to get nervous because, the person that he's with is now saying, we're fighting to the death.
Best to you, my friend.
Realizing they're surrounded and preferring to face the court than certain death, Booth's accomplice, Harold, steps out into the night and surrenders. All alone with no escape, Booth remains inside the barn.
Prepare to fire the barn!
In this whole time, Booth is armed. He's got a carbine, he's got a pistol. He is on crutches. He's on one crutch because of his broken leg, but he is armed and he is making threats.
Rather than risk a shootout, the men receive an order to set fire to the barn in an attempt to flush Booth out into the open. As the soldiers torch the barn, Corbett steps up to a crack in the wall to spy Booth raising his weapon. What happens next changes the course of history.